さあ、ストリームライブ。人が来るかかわかんない。予定なしストリームですか？サプライズストリームですね。人が来るか来ないかわからない。Oh, good evening. We've got people here already. An unscheduled stream here, sorry. Had lots of work to do this evening, so I thought I might as well just turn the camera on anyway in case people are there. I guess our European friends haven't had much chance because I've only been streaming in the morning recently. So, you know what we're working on? It's more owls. And excuse the noise outside, it's Saturday night in Asakusa. So, evening stream. What can I say? I had to work anyway, so why not turn the camera on? The plan here this evening, I'm just about finished now the work I started this morning. We're doing the blue background on some owls. There's about 12 sheets left. When that's done, I will switch over to the key block and then see how much time we got tonight. Do one or two colors. Won't be going all the way. Saturday night print fever. So if I have to work, I might as well get some company, right? Is that the idea? Oh, Mr. Francis. William said, didn't expect to see you here. Can I ask you a question in public? It's okay, nothing about any print secrets here. Can I ask a totally, absolutely hypothetical question, William? Francis Sanga. Totally, absolutely hypothetical question. You're working over there in Britain as some kind of, not carpenter, but you're doing woodwork and I think stonework, all different kinds of stuff in constructing buildings and stuff, right? If, hypothetically, there was some work here in Japan in February for a period of 3 or 4 weeks doing building stuff. Hypothetically, if. Might you be interested in joining the team? Pay a fare, pay some money for helping the work, and when you've got some spare time, watch the printers? Hypothetically, eh? I don't know if you've got commitments there, what kind of, you've got a job, obviously, so. I can't, say much more about it than that at the moment. Sorry to be coy about this. There's stuff going on here outside of our control. But if things do go our way, there's going to be a ton of construction work going on here in February. And we're shorthanded to do it. Build a new shop at the same time we're trying to run this current shop. It seems like you're pretty good at building stuff, so we hear. No, the work is the work is real work. Just I don't know yet if it's going to be happening. That's all I'm trying to say here. You know, there's different things cooking, and there might be this kind of work going on here in February, but I don't know yet. So I can't say much more than that. But if it does suddenly happen, we are going to be desperately short-handed. Is it normal for me to be on now? No, it's not. I know the schedule in the shop has been so busy that in the evenings, I spend most of my evenings on an unscheduled kind of work. Some nights it's bookkeeping, some nights it's, all over the place. So I haven't had regular scheduled work that I can do in front of a camera, other than the morning session I've been doing. Today, I have to do a bunch of owls. They've got to be shipped on Monday, so I've got to finish them tonight and tomorrow morning, ship them to our Ome warehouse Sunday afternoon, and then they'll go out Monday. So that work has to be done tonight, so here I am, so why not turn on the camera? What time is it in Japan? It's 8:31 in the evening here, Saturday night. I'm working here on this bench, and I can maybe, if I turn the camera, if I don't screw up the focus or not, let me see if I can do this. Over on the other bench across the room, Kawai-san, say hi.
Hi.
Can you show the print you're doing, a sample? No, not the real, just a sample. Just, don't disturb it. Okay, hi. Ah. Okay, good, thanks, good. He's working one of the prints from our cabinet. Ah, there it is. Hi. Yes, there's the finished version. So. And this is the way it is. He's already done a full day's work down in the shop downstairs doing print parties. And here he is at work this evening. On a real print. Meanwhile, the block got dry. There's already one color. I did a light tone this morning on the morning stream, and we need a double impression to get it much richer. That's what's happening this evening here. So we got 5 sheets left, 6 sheets left on the blue here, and then we'll switch to doing the key block on this print. Which will be a tad more interesting than this blue, I think. We'll see. It's not a morning stream, it's an evening stream. William, any news on your own on the streaming prospects? Have you got something up and running yet? Or? Next few days, okay? Any idea what time of day? What's your schedule going to be? Have you got anything sorted out yet? Is it going to be a bit random or? Four sheets left here. Oh, look at that, a big hair. Hair fell out of the brush onto the block before I noticed it. So it's been on there. I wonder whose hair that is. So the paper got pressed onto it. So now we've got a hair embossing there. I'm not sure if we can get it out. We'll see. It looks clear now, but when the paper's dried, it might still show up as quite a streak. We'll see. Three more sheets, then it's on to the color blocks. Well, I don't think you need to try and find a good time for Japan. I don't think you've got many viewers here, but I'll be watching you mostly in reruns, I think, probably. What?
6が。
はい、thank you. Good, good, good. Thank you. 結構使ったんですね。 It's okay.どうですか？うまくすりました？まあまあ。
まあまあまあ。細かいこと。
Oh, Jacques, look who's here. Good morning. So I had work to do here this evening, so why not turn the camera on? Five to 6 p.m. UK time. That's like 2 in the morning for me, so I'll have to catch you on reruns. Okay, the last 2 sheets, then we'll move on to the key block. For those of you just joining, this is the owl print. I did a base tone on the blue this morning on the first stream. It's been a busy day in the shop. And now I've got to get moving on this. These prints have to be finished tomorrow afternoon. They've got to be in Ome Monday morning, because we're we're not behind on shipping. We're getting the orders out as they're coming in, but we're behind on stock. I've got to get some more made for the orders that have come in yesterday and today. So the 45 prints in this batch, about half of them are already gone, sold. And here's the last one, then we'll switch to the key block. Yes, unusual time, I'm sorry. Not sorry, but I mean, I'm sorry that it's unusual. I'd like to be doing this more often, but a lot of the work I do in the evenings is programming or bookkeeping or letter writing, catching up on email. It's not really suitable for something streaming. Today it is, so we turned the camera on. So. Okay, here's the last blue one. Who's the person printing next to you? Well, that's Kawai-san. He just stood up and left. He's just finished his batch. We showed him on the camera just a moment ago. I know, streaming with 2 cameras here, this is not difficult. I know we have software. The software I'm using, it's OBS, OSB, what's it called? OBS software. It handles inputs from many cameras. And it's pretty easy to use. I'm not doing anything special here. Just fire up the software, tell it to look for camera 1, tell it to look for camera 2. There's nothing really high-tech going on here. Okay, blue block is retired for a while. Do I learn all the tech? Yeah, I do all the tech stuff here at Mokuhankan, yes. Okay, where's the key block? Here we go. Next up is the key block. Can we focus here? We're getting a good view. I think it's okay. You can see. I say a key block. There's not really any outlines. It's just the shape of the owl. So the MacBook. No, the camera you're looking at there is the MacBook camera, just looking directly at me. I'm typing here on the screen. Oh, the last person left the brush really, really wet. Shoo, 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 shoo. I need some newspaper here to get this dry. Just excuse me a minute. The last person who used this brush this afternoon washed it and didn't hang it up, so it's soaking wet. Okay, that should do it. Still too wet, I think. Still too wet. Okay, we changed barons. The baron I've been using for the last block, for that blue block, is a tough one. It's got a really strong, the coils are larger and fewer, so it's really quite banging. The points are strong and banging. The baron I'm going to use now for the next one, for this key block, the coils are much more coils and smaller. So there's many, many more points to touch, and the overall impression is much more delicate. You hear I play the flute? I used to. I haven't touched it in 32 years, I guess, since I came to Japan. I have a flute in a box, or a few flutes in a box, in boxes. It was my passion since when I was about 15 to when I was about 25 or so, I guess. I was going to be the next James Galway or whatever it was back in those days, but I didn't practice enough. I wasn't good enough. Did pretty well for a while. After I left Canada in when did I leave Canada? 1972, I went back to England, and I ended up doing a debut with one of the orchestras there. So I was doing okay for a while, but I wasn't good enough. The competition is unbelievable in the classical world, and I couldn't cut it. Yeah. Jock, you've been doing some reading, have you? You put these in present tense: builds guitars, makes toys. Not anymore. This is past life, past lives. Okay, let's get going on this. We've got 45 sheets of paper. It's split into about 4 groups. I don't think you can split 45 into 4, but that's what the girls tried to do. Let's get this back out of sight a bit. And we want black here really, really faint. We're not going to splash black pigment on here. We're just going to pick up tiny touches of it from over on that plate. I think still this might be too wet. We'll have to see how this goes. Let's get some test paper here. Yeah, way too wet still. Over in the Omi workshop, actually, we have a way to dry brushes really easily. I just don't have one here in the Saksa. We have a salad spinner. We put the brushes in the salad spinner with the hair pointing outwards. Spin thing, zoom, 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 zoom. They spin around for 2 minutes or so. And it gets every scrap of water out of there. We should pick one up here for Saksa. Being too wet just puts too much, too much water. And when I'm printing, I've got a balance here. I've got in front of me, I've got pigment, which is water-based pigment. I've got paste, and I've got actually a cup of water in the bottom for when things are too dry. And we want a balance for this. And if there's too much actual moisture, it just splashes on everything. So it's water-based pigment, but not too much water. I'm not sure what I can say in words. Let's try painting one here. See how it goes. And we've got to get the, there's lots of fine lines here, the feathers. We've got to get the pigment out from between the feathers. So be quiet, Dave. Let's try one. It's still a bit too wet. We're getting a bit too many black spots in here. And what I want also in this one, I loosened my pressure up the edge, and we get faint, scratchy printing here at the two edges. This isn't one of those key blocks where you swipe black ink all over the whole thing. Less pressure with more coils. It's like the difference between, high-heeled shoes and flat shoes. The high-heeled shoes put the same amount of pressure in just, 2 points. A different kind of shoe puts the same weight, the same pressure, spreads it across a larger surface area, so it's not pressing as much in each particular place. It's a very efficient system. Beautiful, eh? Beautiful, beautiful. Hours past my regular stream time. Yeah, well, that's life here in Mokuhankan. Kawai-san as well, he's printing over there on the other bench opposite me. He arrived this morning at 9:30 for the shop shift. And it's now 9 o'clock. He's been working here for 11 hours or so. It's still too wet, Damn it, I gotta get some more water out of this brush. 濡れてるでしょ。彼女は今洗ったばっかりかな。サラダスピナーが欲しいんですね。サラダスピナー。
サラダスピナー。
はい。多めにありますか？見たことないですか？
何ですかそれ。
サラダを洗うんでしょ？レタスとか。
はいはい。
それからこの、なんていうの、このようなプラスティック、なんて言いますか、バスケット、見てください。サラダをプラスティックバスケットに入れて、上にあるクチュクチュクチュ、バスケットがスピンになります。それで水が、
脱水か。
そう。脱水という、脱水機、
洗濯機の脱水。
そう。これと一緒です。そう。I don't think a hairdryer would do it. The water's, all inside these hairs, right down at the roots. The hairdryer is just going to break and dry the brush. It's the water that she washed it, and the water's way down inside here. I mean, these brushes are really good at holding moisture. That's what they're built for. Japanese newspapers in Japan. Yes, the major companies here all have English language versions of their newspaper. Japan's a very literate country, and many people are studying English, and there's no problem with having access to English language news when you're in Japan, even if the internet wasn't here. I think we're doing okay now. Oops, excuse me, sorry. Got a good balance here, I think, now. Those first few copies, I'm not sure. Too black. Look at that. I dipped it just a bit too much. This will be a reject. It's just too black against the sky. Oops, focus. Focus. Doesn't seem to want to focus here. Anyway, too black, too black, too black. Just got to get the right amount of tap on there. That's probably too much ink there. I don't know much about this Hokusai manga project, but I like the idea that it will defiantly happen in the coming years. That sounds like a pretty good plan. It will defiantly happen. Kuro, 何プリンパリのハケ使ったんですか？自分の？
いや、そこにあった。
あ、そう。That's 1/4. They're in 4 groups here, as I said. So what we'll be doing here tonight is there's 4 groups of paper in here. I'm going to do the key block on the 4 groups. Then when that's finished, I'll do maybe the light brown undertone for the owl on the 4 groups. And that'll be it for tonight. The other 2 colors, the darker brown and green, I'll save for tomorrow morning's stream. Jock, if you're still here, there's something I could ask you. I know you might or might not know about this. I know these days we're really busy, of course, sending prints out all over the world. Lots of people have been ordering for Christmas gifts and stuff like that. And in the last week, I've had 2 instances of prints getting lost in the Netherlands. We have tracking numbers on them, and the tracking number shows it goes into the Netherlands system, the customs and or post office, whatever, and then it disappears. And the people don't receive it. The package ends up showing as being delivered, but the people don't actually have it. And when they contact their post office, blah, 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 there's no explanation. And this seems to be really unusual for the Netherlands. I would have thought they're extremely efficient in their postal services and things. And it's funny, 2 this week from your country. So I'm just curious, is your post office coming apart or something going on there? Not that you'd know. We have tons of problems with Canada. That's the worst case. And then second is Britain. We've never had problems with the Netherlands before. Stiff. In this camellia oil, little spray bottle with camellia oil, little dab on the back. Hey, I hear a question in the box there. This camellia oil, there's a video out on the net there. It's getting lots of views. There's a printer in America. When he needs the lubrication, he rubs it on his head or face or something. It's kind of funny. Whatever. Most of us get washed in the morning and there isn't much oil left on the face, but whatever. What's in the question box? Question about paper sizing. Bit of a misunderstanding there, sorry. When we talk about sizing the paper, we're not talking about the dimensions as in size, as in inches. Sizing the paper for us, when we get the paper from the maker in its raw state, it's not suitable for printing. It's far too soft. It's not strong enough to stand up to this rubbing. So we have to paint it, I guess is the expression. We coat it with a glue mixture. And that glue mixture is called size. I think it goes way back to like Renaissance painting. They put size on something and put gold leaf on it. I don't know the origin of the word. But it's nothing to do with dimensions size. It's just the name of the product.
すいません。See you,
You're off. Okay.
see you tomorrow.
Okay. Good night. Bye-bye. So it's confusing. I'm sorry. Sizing for us is nothing to do with the dimensions. It's the amount of glue mix that we put on the paper. So, and it is difficult. Much more difficult than cutting 4 by 5 inches. So. The camera seems to be holding its focus tonight. We had real trouble yesterday with this. These are nice, you know, just a nice balance between the black and the blue. Boy, I like this print so much. It's a couple of months back, Nakamura-san and I, one of the staff girls here, we were looking around through different files and stuff to try and find a good design for this year's gift print. And the minute we popped eyes on this one, it was just, wow, this is going to be it. You know? This print is clearly going to be a regular item in our catalog for many, many years to come. You know. I nearly didn't do it I knew it was going to be attractive, but I nearly didn't do it because I thought it was a bit, I don't know, what's the word? A bit kitschy? I'm not sure of the word. I don't know. That's a bit harsh, I think. But it was a bit just corny. But I'm glad I did. It's just simply pleasure. Pleasure to make, pleasure to look at. You're worried about the print. I know most of the shipments seem to go through, you know. I didn't want to panic anybody. We send hundreds of shipments every Christmas. And there's a couple that don't make it. You know, that's just the way the post offices work. Everything we do is insured. We replace it. So nothing is, you know, nobody loses their money or whatever. But sometimes when a print gets lost, a package gets lost, it's not there and the replacement's not there in time for Christmas sometimes. Most of the stuff we send just goes straight through. That's 2 batches out of the 45. 1, 2. So we must be halfway here. Oh yeah, you're asking about sizing. We've perfect. Jacques is here this evening. So just the right timing. I know Jacques on the stream, he just posted a link here. He visited here some months ago. And one of the days he was here, we were doing that job of sizing paper. So he took a bunch of photographs and he's put them on his website. So the person who asked about sizing a few minutes ago, go and check that link out. It's not the traditional way it was done, but it shows the concept. color name, we're getting a different color balance. This camera down here is showing a different color than the one up here. This is closer to the real color that I'm seeing with my eye, actually. This camera in the MacBook is better, or set up better, than the Handycam over there, which is playing different games under different lights. So at some point we're going to get our stream a bit more professional, get proper lighting and white balance control and stuff like that. But for the moment, there's a limit to how much time I can spend on this sort of thing. I'm sorry. So. But given that it's printmaking and art, we should get the colors a bit closer, I think. So. Will I be in Tokyo in April? Yes, absolutely. I'll be here in April. I know the current plan for me for the traveling, gotta go and see my family. I haven't been there since. I haven't been back in Canada since last February, you know, when I was there for my dad passing away. And I gotta get back there. And for us, March and April and May are going to be crazy busy here. So I can't get away from Japan March, April, and May. February here is going to be a special project. I was teasing about that in the stream earlier. If things go well, we're going to be very busy here in February on a construction project. So the only time for me to get away in the near future now is going to be January. I think maybe after New Year's clear, I'll go and see my folks, my kids. My folks, I mean my mother's all that's left. And my kids in Canada in the end of January, I think. So if you're going to be around Japan in, what did you say, April, I'll be here. I'll be here. I hope. Well, Jacques, you were here there earlier this year. Didn't you have enough of Japan? We get an instant cross-section of visitors in the shop here, you know, and I don't know what percentage. I don't keep track of stuff like this, but a huge percentage of the people who visit our shop here are not in Japan for the first time. They're on a second, third, fourth, or fifth visit. It's really become one of those destinations. And when I was younger, the idea to come to Japan, it was like something on your bucket list. One day you could maybe go to Japan and check it off your list, you know. But now, no, people come here once and they realize they can't possibly get anywhere near enough of this place. There's so much to do, so much to see. There's this impression overseas that it's sort of this little small tiny country, and it's not. It's huge, it's vast. There's so much to see. So people are coming back again and again and again. It's so accessible now compared to back, years ago. We're even getting Australians. This is a crazy one that's happening now. We're getting Australians who come to Japan, to Tokyo, for the weekend. And I guess it's about 7-8 hour flight or something. So they go to work on Friday, come home from work, go to the airport. It's all arranged, whatever. Come home from work, go to the airport Friday night, get on a plane, sleep on the plane, wake up in Tokyo. And it's I think it's 1 hour or 2 hours time difference. Depends what part of Australia you're from. So it's basically the same time zone. So you wake up Saturday morning in Tokyo at the airport. Have your fun Saturday and Sunday. Hotel Saturday night. Then on Sunday night, no hotel, you head back to the airport. Sleep on the plane again. Get out of the airport in Sydney, go to work, and you had your weekend in Tokyo with only one hotel. And it's not possible from America or Europe to do that because of this crazy time zone differences. But from somebody from Australia, it works, or Hong Kong or Singapore. Okay, here's the end of the third group, right? Out of the 4 groups. One more group. So after this 4th one here, we'll switch to a new color, and I'll just do one more color here tonight before packing it in. What is it now? It's 9:30. It's kind of enough. So I'll finish this key block and then do one more color before calling it a day. I don't know, nothing crazy there about coming to Japan for the weekend, right? I'd do it if I had the chance. Doesn't turn. Getting pretty consistent here. You know, the goal for us, of course, is to make them all ideally exactly the same. We can't get them exact. We can get pretty close. And, it's experience and it's rhythm, you know, keeping going, keeping going. If I stop and talk, the block gets a bit dry, the brush gets different, you know. That's really one of the keys to getting consistency in this work, is just to keep going. And that's the really difficult part for a beginner. They make a print, pick it up, look at it, think, what should I do? And while they're thinking, the block is drying. You can never make more than one print the same, you know, when you're a beginner. So. Back in Taiwan, it's a bit different from Vancouver and Montreal because you get time zone differences. You know, when you go from Taiwan to Japan, you're just like one time zone difference or something. But the distance maybe, or the time maybe, okay. But so the travel here, when you're coming from Southeast Asia to here, because it's nearly the same time zone, it's so much better. You get out of the plane and you're in your same zone. You know. Too black again. That's twice. That's two I've spoiled. Now. Dipped it in just too much on that thing. Just after I brag about being consistent, you know, right? Oh well. Okay, what have we got left here? There's 4 more copies of the key block, and then we'll switch to, let's see, switch to the sepia color. Okay, 1 sheet left. Here's the last one. Then we'll switch to the sepia, do some brown. Okay. Change the brush. The brown brush is dry. It hasn't been used today, so I'm getting first crack at it. Now pigments. Retire this black. And I've got, oops, banged the microphone there. We don't have enough left from last time. Maybe, let's see. Actually, I think I do for the light color. Not enough for the brown, but it's enough for the light. For this owl, for the two tones, I don't have a sample here. For the two tones, we use the same color, just deeper, and a deep version and a light version. Yeah, it's coming out. Look at this. This is enough. Yeah, more than enough. Good. Now this needs more paste. I didn't use much paste at all on that key block because on the key block, paste can really clog up the lines. It's not necessary. So let's pull up the water. We're going to need water here. So here we go. There's 4 batches here, 45 altogether. We'll run this color to the end and that'll be it for tonight. And I'll pack it up. Save the last 2 colors for tomorrow morning's stream. Somewhere on there. Let's see. I think we'll need a bit of protection here, so I'm going to bear down a little bit. Too strong. here, the question box, I think. Just a moment. Something in the question box. Okay, what do we do at the end of a printing session? I know. Let me just turn the camera down here a sec to part answer. The question is, what do we do at the end of the session with the brushes and stuff? What do we do? The brushes get washed, absolutely. There's crusted pigment left in them, and if we try and use them again, they'll just break the hairs. So the brushes get washed with the attempt, we wash with the water hitting the brush without trying to get the wood part wet, because it swells and cracks and stuff like that. The blocks, that depends. If we've been using glue in the mix, we have to wash the blocks. If not, that block I just finished, the black block, there's nothing. There's nothing left on it. So it's just left alone. The less wear and tear, the better. It doesn't need to get washed. And the pigment cups, Aimi-san and I are wrestling. This is Aimi-san's bench. If I just tip the camera down a minute here, we can see what she's got here. These are her pigment cups just sitting here. And they've all become dry after she used the last one. You can just throw water in it and it comes back to life. But the problem is, it just sits here in the room and dust goes in there and other stuff goes in there. And I think she's lazy and she should be covering these up. And she and I have a little bit of disagreement about this. She thinks I'm noisy. I think she's lazy. Suga-san, who sits next to her, who trained in a very strict professional workshop, she covers her pigments up, of course, at night. So what, to answer the question, what gets washed is only stuff that has had like hard glue used in it. There's sometimes when we have to put glue into the pigment and use it that way. We want a real glossy impression or something like that, a real thick impression. And if we've put glue in there, then that's it. If we don't wash it, it just goes like a rock and that's it. We've lost the brush, we've lost the tools, we've lost everything. So if we put glue in the pigment, it must get washed. If it's just simply the powdered pigments, we can let them dry and they reconstitute just with water. There's no problem. Yeah, different time slot today. Somebody just coming on board here. A bonus session here today. Is that right? Noisy, Dave. What am I on? Noisy. I mean, the Japanese expression urusai, it means actually physically noisy as in too much volume, but it also means you're being, what do we say in English? If I'm complaining all the time or something, what do we say? I'm used to the Japanese term now, you know. If you're always bothering somebody, complaining about them or grouching about something. In Japanese, you're being noisy, but nagging, yeah. So. She thinks I'm a nag. And that's true. And I think she's lazy. And that's true. Oh, brush hair there. Wants to be sticky. Come on, brush hair somewhere. Let's get out of here. Hi. Too shy to use the chat. Interesting. There's somebody I know out there who's too shy to do this. She's been watching but not chatting. And that's my mother has been watching the stream. She tells me. She couldn't figure out how to log in for the longest time. So we gave her a login and got her to figure out that part of it. And now she's been watching it. But I keep telling her, come on, pop something into the chat, you know. It would probably be all caps. That's the sort of stage she's at. But, you know, she's 90 years old, so it's okay, you know. I keep telling her, pop in, say who you are. The chat guys will love talking to you, you know. She's, oh, no, they wouldn't want to hear me and blah, blah, blah. Come on over. You'd be the only 90-year-old on Twitch, you know. She won't take that plunge. So she's watching in silence. I don't think she's watching now because what time is it in Canada, in Vancouver? 6 in the morning. She might be there. Hi, Mom. Say hello to the crowd. Actually, if I can say something without making it sound like I'm shooting her down, you know, the other day I posted on here about about our documentary movie. You know, it's on iTunes now apparently in the US, and she sent some kind of like chain Facebook thing to all her friends. So her son's movie is there, you know, and it's funny on the iTunes. What's it called? Not the teaser page. It's an iTunes page that you see it in a browser. When you click, it takes you to the iTunes store. And it's got stuff there, and it says like movie cast actors, Dave Bull. She sent this to her friends, and they're all like, what's going on? Coming along with it. This is such peaceful work. I get the question box. Just a minute. Such peaceful work. Something like this. Let's have a look at the question box there. Well, the same person to follow up. Pigments also true for bokuju. You can revive it with water. Yes and no. How's that for an effective answer? Bokuju is bokuju. There's different kinds of it. Now, if I put the camera down again, this is Aimi-san's bench, né? The question was about, again, the pigments. Do we have to wash up, whatever? This is Aimi-san's bowl, and she's got what we would call bokuju. It's black juice is the literal meaning. And it's calligraphy ink. It comes in big, we buy it in 2-liter bottles. And this is poured into her cup here. And this is, it has, in its native state, it's got glue mixed into it. Not too much. The kind we buy doesn't have too much glue mixed into it. And if she lets this dry till it's all gone, then that's tough to revive because of the glue that's in it. I know the brush thing that we're using, the hakobi, the brush, just gets too, what's the word? When it gets too hard with glue, and it doesn't come back. But in general, if you're not sure what to do, then wash your stuff. It's not rocket science. If you're having trouble with your tools, wash your blocks, wash your brush, wash your stuff. It's not going to hurt anything. Actually, I like to say, not going to hurt anything. Getting your brushes too wet, the wood part, is not so good for them, and scrubbing the blocks is not so good for them. Yeah, it's a surprise stream this morning for the other end of the day. I'm sorry. As I said, and I had this work to do tonight anyway, so I thought, let's turn the camera on, even though it's not an announced stream time. I'm here and I'm working, so why not turn the camera on? I can't promise this, every day. I can't promise it too often, I'm sorry, but just... As I said before, most of my evening work isn't really streamable. It's answering emails and doing programming and working on the websites. Nothing that makes any sense to stream. But tonight, it's owls, so let's go for it. There's 2 more colors to come on here. The darker brown across the back of the owl, and there's the green leaves, dirty green leaves. Yeah, pop out the chat window. That's what I've done here, I've popped out the chat window. I've moved it to a different monitor. So I have my broadcast software showing the outside broadcast view. But in order that I can see the chat itself, I've used a pop-out chat window, which I moved down to the same monitor here. The Twitch stream itself is delayed a couple of seconds, and if I try and watch the Twitch stream, it's just insane. Okay, that's the end of another group of 12 or so. So where are we at here, just to keep track of what's going on? There's 4 papers in 4 stacks under here. That's 2 stacks done. 2 stacks left. So about 24 sheets left, and that'll be it for this evening. Then I'll be packing it up. And I'll be continuing this tomorrow morning, the last 2 colors in the morning stream. So we've got about 15 minutes left here. And then I gotta crash. It's 10 o'clock. They're fun days, you know, long days, but fun days. Ah, Jacques, yes. What's on tap is, I shouldn't promise this because I don't know when I can do it. But you know, when you were here in Tokyo a few months ago, you saw those wood blocks for the Okada-yoshio prints. I don't know how much of the story I told you, but part of the very beginning of myself becoming interested in Japanese prints was on my very first trip to Japan. We were traveling around, me and my then girlfriend, and it was a hugely, vigorously rainy day. We were down in Okayama, and it was just like typhoon type of rain. We just had to get it. We went into a department store to just try and kill time till the rain quit. And there was one of these guys who just was selling used books and prints and something in a display area inside the department store, and he had that set of prints. They were new at the time. They were just published. And I saw them and I could not move. Just, that's it. My feet were rooted to the floor. My girlfriend thought to herself, oh, Jesus, now we're never going to get going. And that print set is hugely responsible for me being where I am. The rest of the chat here probably doesn't know what we're talking about, so maybe Jacques can pop a link in somewhere here. There's a Japanese artist. He's still alive. He's now in his 80s. And he's not famous or anything. He's mostly worked as an illustrator for newspapers and magazines. He's got a quite distinctive style that many Japanese people don't like. And if he had taken the time and trouble to get himself foreign gallery representation, he could have been globally famous, but he never did that. So he's sort of a B-level artist illustrator here. But many Westerners, Western males specifically, really like his stuff. And there was a set of 4 woodblock prints made of from his designs back in the mid-1980s. There's a long story about it, but it should have a video. I'm sorry, without much of the story here. Yeah, are they all there? So it's on my schedule for making a video about that story, seeing those prints for the first time, buying them, trying to emulate that work myself, later on meeting the artist, getting the wood blocks. There's a bunch of story there. So, and the prints themselves, whatever, you like them or you don't. There's people who really do not like them, and there's people who do like them very much. And I like them mixed. My interest is mostly technical. They're an astonishing technical achievement, which is what really tickles me. And the artwork, yes, it's something I can go along with. My girlfriend at the time, she hated it. The way Okare-san depicts women. My girlfriend just hated it. But I don't know how he's doing. I haven't had any contact with him now in a few years. He's getting on, you know, so I don't know. He's got all kinds of other work. If you just Google his name, Okada Yoshio, and look under the Google Images tab, you'll see all kinds of work that he's done. Japanese newspaper illustrations, book illustrations. Very colorful, very vivid style. The women's faces are extremely, I don't know what adjective to use. I don't know. They're extremely. No, I see the point. You know, maybe it should just be there for the first few minutes of each stream, and occasionally off and on. There's 3 or 4 different ones set up. For example, this one. I have to show this once in a while because people don't know about this. So I have to put that one up now and then, just so people know how to do that, to send the questions. So. Yeah, you're right. Having it there all the time is just kind of disruptive, I think. Oops. And then this one should go up sometimes. Again, so people know that that's there. So I should have a script maybe that just rotates, pops them up just for one pass and then lets it go for a while, you know. But you're right, it's noisy being there all the time, I guess. That's 3 groups. So what have we got left here? Okay, we have one group of about 12 sheets left, and that'll be it for tonight. Okay, last 3 sheets here today, and then we're going to sign off. Last 3 happy sheets. Happy little owls. Okay, that'll be it. Just one more sheet. I'm going to sign off. I'm going to leave all the gear right here. It's now 10 o'clock, just after 10 in Tokyo. I'm going to crash now, get a hot drink and then do some email and then crash. Then I'll be up at 6 o'clock, get a shower, and I'll be back here to pick up this work again in the morning stream. There's 2 colors left to go on this print. We're behind again in our orders. So many orders came in the last 2 days that I'm printing these again. The ladies in our shipping center will be coming over Monday morning, ready to ship them. So I've got to get these finished tomorrow, Sunday in Tokyo, wrap them up around noon, ship them by the Takubin shipping service. So they arrive in Ome Monday morning. And they'll be shipped out in Monday night's post all over the world. So these owls are being made today and tomorrow, and they'll be in their envelopes on the way around the world Monday afternoon. Talk about freshly baked prints. Paper now goes to sleep, and I'm next. Thanks for watching, guys. A bit of a surprise on our stream tonight. I can't promise this all the time, just it happened to fit. I was here doing work, so I thought it'd be nice to turn the camera on. Pets, no pets here, sorry. Although with the mice, we're thinking, but anyway, not now. Okay, thanks very much. I'll be here, as I said, tomorrow morning. I don't think I'll be here tomorrow night, but tomorrow morning. Maybe see some of you then. Thanks for watching. Good night for now. And away we go. Thank you again. Bye-bye.